Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Denver Broncos. This one fielded at the 5. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A huge play there for Denver, and even 40 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
No, check. Patriot. All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now they'll run on the draw. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. Back to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or, even worse, an interception.
First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Gone!
They'll drop the throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Faking the give, Darnold. Benjamin with it over the middle. And out across midfield down to the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. So they go out of the gun, try to delay it on the draw, but nothing there.
Yeah, good play by the defense there. They sniffed it out and made sure there were no gaps for him to run. If you're the offense, though, you have to think to yourself, maybe I go play action down the road.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Darnold from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And they'll run it here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go play action here on 1st down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Shaquille Barrett in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Darnold. He gets it to Thomas. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And down he'll go at the 25. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Graham. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They'll set up to throw. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Hey, got 18. 18 loves to go deep. Put a body on.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Detroit! Detroit!
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They run, Montgomery, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. 1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd down, Darnold. That's caught by Meredith right side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Check. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sutton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll look to throw here. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. He's got room to run past the 20. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the 50, it's Darnold. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Smith catches left side. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And off comes to Montgomery. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's Darnold. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Detroit!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now it's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Leopard! Hurry up, here we go.
Darnold now to throw. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
A first down throw, Darnold. Completes it to Benjamin. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Leopard!
To the air again, Darnold. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Darnold. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And an alley to run. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Now Darnold. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, where a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
He's got his tight end, Jake Butt, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now look at 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Throw left side. It's reeled in by Hamilton. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And McManus able to put it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Darnold from the gun. Throw left side taken in by Meredith. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Play action. It's Darnold. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, Darnold. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
No. Check. Patriot.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. Benjamin with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A give. This is Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Gun!
On 2nd down, Perkins. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now a run with Montgomery. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
The Saints on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So the Broncos coming out now. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hamilton. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Call it a gain of 9 there, and it puts him in better shape here for 2nd and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, Darnold got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 58 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. They're going to look to throw. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to throw now on 1st down. Complete out right to Jake Butt. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Looking to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot.
After the interception, here's Darnold. He'll air it out deep for touch. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
Now Montgomery. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
No. Check. Patriot.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the fourth quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for the Saints, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.